What a weekend we've had in crypto. I mean, where to even start? Tariffs, Trump, market crash, and why I think altcoin season is still around the corner. What does this mean for Bitcoin? What does this mean for Cardano? What does this mean for investors? Like, what are you even supposed to do, right? That's what I want to get into today. Here's all the news. Here's what's going on. And here's how I've been just casually navigating the market like nothing really even happened because, in my opinion, nothing super major did. Also, real quick before we go any further, if you are new to the channel, in the description is the Crypto 100x Blueprint. It's my 7 steps to 100x my Cardano native token portfolio this cycle. It's the 7 steps I'm using to try and get that 100x. And if you are interested in that, it's in the description, absolutely free for you to download today. The first thing we obviously need to talk about is why did the crash happen? Why did Saturday and Sunday and Monday have this massive crash? What happened? Well, basically what happened is Donald Trump and the Trump administration announced that they were going to be putting tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China. And the market didn't take this lightly. They didn't think that this was a good thing long term, or they think in the short term it means that there's going to be a massive sell-off or a massive increase in prices for American consumers. This can mean America might have trouble with getting imports from Canada and from China and from Mexico, or those imports are going to be more expensive and those costs are going to trickle down to the American taxpayers, the American consumers who are already struggling, right? Those avocados that you already buy, the cars that you already buy that are already massively overpriced are only going to get more expensive. And so with these things and with energy pipelines that we have from Mexico and Canada, the America could be in trouble with some more tariffs. That is at least what the major economic forces are forecasting over the weekend and why everything decided to tank. In fact, so much tanked, about $2.3 billion was liquidated from the crypto markets, and basically you could equate this to an FTX style crash. Now, this is supposedly at the very beginning of the altcoin season or during the altcoin season, right? It's like the mania isn't there, but we've seen massive gains in ADA and XRP and HBAR. Bitcoin's been making gains for quite a while. And so we have this altcoin season and we have this massive liquidation event similar to what we had in the previous bear market that really put in the bear market low. When liquidations like this happen, it just is a cascading effect of more and more liquidations. It's even worse that it happened when Bitcoin was, right after Bitcoin hit 108,000. And unfortunately, new retail investors who just jumped in at that $108,000 point got absolutely worked over in this first week of February. On top of that, in a bull market like we are in, many people are losing their leverage position or their futures positions because who in the world would think that we get this black swan event right now at the most random of random times? It is just the craziest coincidence and the craziest events to happen. So the market went down because of tariffs, but that's not even like the most interesting thing in my opinion. And I think All In Crypto said it best on Twitter, like the retail market just got absolutely worked over by this massive dump because by Monday, everything was back to normal. Now, how is everything back to normal on Monday? How on Monday is Bitcoin back above 101,000, Cardano's back at 80 cents, and just everything seems to be fine? Well, after this massive weekend of worry that the market has had, where people were losing their minds, sitting at home, not being able to trade, stocks and S&P 500 and stuff, and just crypto was taking the brunt of it, Monday opens, S&P 500 and all the stocks drop, of course, but on Monday, the Trump administration announces that they have come to an agreement. They've come to a partnership with Mexico and Canada to delay these tariffs for 30 days and work out a new deal. Where was this like over the weekend? Where was this all last week? Why would the Trump administration not have gone through that communication effort before announcing that they were making these massive tariffs and before basically strong arming the market into this position? Not only did that hasty series of events cost retail investors billions of dollars, right? And institutional investors billions of dollars. It just put us in a sense of pure chaos. The only way I can describe the weekend that we've had and the current, start to February in crypto that's supposed to be miraculous is pure chaos. This is pure chaos. So as of today, as of recording this video, this is Tuesday now, the tariffs are no more, right? We have 30 days or so for Mexico, the United States, and Canada to work out some deal where tariffs aren't going to be so high, or we're all going to work together, or we're not going to tariff each other, or something, right? Really, nobody has any clue whatsoever. And I think that that's part of the problem. Today, as I'm recording this video, there's a lot of uncertainty in the air. People in crypto have no idea whether we're going to go lower for longer, whether February is going to be a down month, whether we could expect, was $108,000 the Bitcoin top? Is Cardano ever going to get above $3 again? Like, these are all the questions people are talking about it online. And I know that those are the questions that you are probably thinking about. Over the past couple of days, many people have actually asked me about my opinion on the market. They wanted me to make this video and kind of analyze, what am I doing? What do I think is going on? And here's the very, very simple truth. I think probably one of the best things you could have done this weekend is to do absolutely nothing at all and really not even pay attention to the crypto market and not even know that this current event is happening. In my opinion, I've been kind of just in la la land over the weekend. I don't really take news like this too seriously, and I don't think it has an immediate impact or a necessary impact unless we let it. Personally, I am pretending that I'm on a beach in Mexico or in Florida having fun and not really paying attention to the market, and that's what I suggest that you should be doing during this time. There are some key levels and key indicators where I think we could change the sentiment of the crypto market, but as of today, I don't think that is the case, and I still think altcoin season can be right around the corner for a few reasons. Reason number one is that I definitely think quantitative easing is going to end in the first half of 2025. Now, I've seen some people at JP Morgan talk about this because of what is happening at the bank reserve level. As we continue quantitative tightening, the bank reserves are continuing to get drawn down. As these bank reserves are dropping, the United States economy and market can actually have more volatility, and I don't think that the United States government or the administration currently would want that. There comes a point where you cannot keep quantitative tightening forever, and I think we might be getting close to that point around this like 10% level of bank reserves to GDP, as JP Morgan states. So with 2025 having possible QE in the first half in Q1 or Q2, it kind of leads into the situation that we are having here with the Trump administration just dominating the market over the weekend. Are we going to see events like this weekend where we have these massive black swan and catastrophic events that are just blips that lead us into that quantitative easing environment where altcoins really tend to rise? The next big thing that's on my radar is this idea that if the Trump administration were to impose tariffs on America, it's really, I know that, they're kind of talking about how that can increase American manufacturing and prevent people from coming into the border and kind of put this punishment on Canada and Mexico. But I kind of see it as a viewpoint of money, and the economy in America is not going to be as good if we are hurting the people that are helping our economy. We are hurting our trade partners, right? We are hurting trade into America. We are hurting the allocation of resources by making it all more expensive, and in turn making it harder for the American consumer to build businesses or buy things or live a healthy lifestyle or, just do all the stuff that we want to do. If the Trump administration goes forward with these tariffs, they're not only punishing Canada and Mexico and China, but they're also punishing the American consumer, which then punishes the American economy, which I do not think is what the Trump administration wants to happen. This all in turn would then have the potential to hurt the US dollar against foreign trade or against other currencies, and this could lead us even further into a Bitcoin heavy environment or a crypto heavy environment as a safe haven away from this dollar that is being economically dominated by these tariff and trade wars. Finally, the third big thing that I'm looking at is that really nothing majorly different happened this weekend. When you get news like this, like a big tariff news, it can have a big impact on the market for a very long period. It's like when the United States government announced that they were going to start lower or raising interest rates and then lowering interest rates, right? That's a very long-term cycle, 6 months to 2 years, something like that, right? And the day that it's announced, people usually panic. But within the next week or two, the market can rebound, it can come back, it can do this and that. Only over the long term do you have to shift your investment position. And I think that is what's happening today. I think over this weekend, we had a brief period of really heavy media news about a topic. It caused a major shift in the market, but we are really seeing that rebound here early this week on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And as we see that rebound, we're going to actually see the actual effects of what's going to happen. Currently, there are no tariffs, so nothing should happen. Everything should go back to normal as it was. But let's say that the tariffs do come into effect. We're not going to see the total macro position of how the Bitcoin cycle might be over until much like a couple weeks down the line from here. So there's really no reason to worry about it today. As a person who watches the Bitcoin super cycle or the Bitcoin 4-year cycle, I see no reason to kind of count Bitcoin out or think that 108,000 was the Bitcoin cycle top. As of all my positions and as of my current market positioning, I still see Bitcoin above the bull market support band. I still see Bitcoin really paralleling to the 2017 market at the beginning and having a lot of room to run in the back half of this year, or maybe in summer, we're going to have a massive run in crypto. And so I see Bitcoin still performing well against other cycles, still following what's happened to other cycles in 2017 and 2021 primarily, and then still holding all the major support levels and the trend and the higher highs that it should. Now, I also see this in Cardano. I see this in other altcoins as well. And what I'm targeting on those is that they need to also maintain their higher high structures, need to maintain their bull market support bands, need to maintain their Fibonacci levels. And unless that changes, my positions and investments and long-term thesis do not change as well. Even if Bitcoin and Cardano were to have a day or a week under those positions, I would still have reason to believe that we can go higher for longer, and this could be a pause in the total cycle for a mini retracement. Some people in the comments are going to say, well, what if it was the top and we're not making the right decisions? That can always be an opportunity, or that can always be a possibility. Bitcoin could have topped at $108,000, but I think people were saying the same thing when Bitcoin hit $106,000. Now, the scenario of if Bitcoin has already topped and we are heading into this lower phase of the market, what I would look for is to see Bitcoin and Cardano and crypto making lower highs, falling below bull market support bands, and then we probably have just a little bit of a lower spring, right? Things would tend to trend lower over spring. Maybe in Q3 or something, we'd have another pop back up, or in the summer, we'd have another pop back up. But that pop would not retake 108,000. That would not retake 106,000, right? And so we would have this macro Bitcoin dropping lower, right? We'd have this macro Cardano dropping lower. Currently, I don't see that happening, and I will be watching that. But as of right now, in all my investments, I still think that we are going to see a massive crypto run in 2025 because of the federal government changing from QT to QE, because of this new crypto-friendly administration where we're supposedly getting a strategic Bitcoin reserve and things are supposed to be good for crypto, because of the fact that I don't think the Trump administration wants to let the US dollar slip in the world global currency domination. I think they want America to be powerful in crypto. In order to do that, you have to do crypto-friendly things. You have to do economically friendly things. And so this weekend was a big one. This weekend was crazy, absolutely massive, absolutely wicked. And the only way I can describe it is pure chaos. I think that the Trump administration could have done better to communicate better. And I simply do not think that all of the people watching this video, I don't think that you should be making investment decisions based on what people are tweeting out, half-baked, political Twitter tweets about what they're doing with tariffs on a random Saturday or a random Sunday or a random Monday, right? And so you can't go from Saturday, we're going to tariff everyone 10% to 25%. Monday, we're not going to tariff anyone and expect people to be okay with that in the market. I think you should not sell your positions over that, and I think you should take this time to reanalyze your portfolio, get convicted in your investment positions, and really understand where the market could be going later this year. For me, it took me about a half hour on this weekend to look at my investments, say, am I happy with these investments even though the prices are lower? The answer is yes. I'm happy with my Bitcoin, my Ethereum, my Cardano native tokens, my Lithium, and my Ergo, and my Cody. I'm happy with my S&P 500, and I know that there are a couple scenarios that happen from this point. One, this February got off to a rocky start, but much like October usually gets off to a rocky start, it's going to end the month with a massive rally, a massive recovery. That's honestly what I think happens from this situation. We have this weird first week of February, and then everything after that is just golden rainbows, right? So we kind of have that, and then that leads us into this altcoin season that we want. There's some other things you can watch out there in the market, like inflation and jobs and unemployment. Those could come up to haunt us every now and then. But if you wait for things that are supposedly coming to haunt us as a weekend worrier, you're never going to be invested and take the opportunities. Another thing that could happen is maybe the tariffs do come into effect. Maybe the economy does get a little worse for a little bit. Maybe that leads us into a recession. Maybe that leads us into quantitative easing, and maybe that leads us into the altcoin season or into the next bull market. Maybe we have a longer bull market into 2026. Basically, what you need to be doing at this time in your crypto life is get prepared. Understand what you're invested in, why you're invested in it, have a good reason to invest into it, and so that when things like this happen, because they inevitably happen every single year, you don't feel the need to sell your positions, you don't feel the need to check the charts, you don't feel the need to freak out or post on Twitter or do anything out of the ordinary. This weekend, I posted a little on Twitter, I played a bunch of Minecraft, I worked out a little bit, and I went out to eat, and I had a pretty awesome time. I really didn't think about crypto a whole ton. I really didn't trade anything. I'm thinking about buying some more things. I didn't even buy ADA on the 50-cent dip. And so to me, this is a great time to do nothing except re-understand your portfolio, re-understand your strategy, reallocate yourself, maybe try to find a little bit more cash. I'm trying to find a little bit more cash, and maybe I'll wait to see what's going to happen over this next week or two before allocating it. but get yourself prepared, because I think the back half of February could get us out of this hole that we're in and get us back on track to where the bull market should be. Trump caused a massive tariff sell-off. Tariffs somehow are not going into effect now. Saturday and Sunday were brutal. Monday we are back to normal. Now the crypto market is waiting to see what has happened, and all the while I'm just hanging out and letting this thing ride. Let me know in the comments if you are hanging out and letting this thing ride out. If you bought some more crypto, if you bought some more Bitcoin, if you bought some more Cardano, what in the world are you doing and what do you think happens from this? Just remember, there's always a million ways you can analyze a market like this, and I don't want you to go into over analysis paralysis. The best thing you can do is have a simple, basic framework for the cycle, simple, basic strategy, and stick to it until something is showing you it's not true. Now, this whole tariff thing, I don't think that proves that the strategy is not true. For me, I'm following the Crypto 100x blueprint, and the way that I analyze charts, the way that I invest, has not been invalidated by this market move. Now, if the market were to move down further, say another like 50%, yeah, maybe it would invalidate it. But currently, so far, I think everything's looking okay, and I see some things recovering nicely. We can keep you updated with how this thing kind of unfolds and what kind of comes from all this, but as of right now, I don't think there's a lot of reasons to worry, and I think you would make a bad decision to trade out of your positions following the retail crowd, following the institutional crowd as they sell on this drop. Let me know in the comments if you agree, if what you're doing, what do you think about the portfolio? Do you think February ends with a new Bitcoin all-time high? I think it definitely could. Maybe we get back up to $108,000 or $110,000, and then we continue in March and April to really have a great crypto season for an altcoin season when quantitative easing starts. Let me know in the comments. If you're still watching, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe. If you haven't gotten the Crypto 100x blueprint in the description, get it down there absolutely free, and we will definitely see you in the next video.